Radio.
Warning. Warning.
Welcome to the 2-minute warning, where sports fans sound off.
I'm trying to blow your mind. I'm talking literally blow your mind. I'm trying to blow your mind. I'm talking literally blow your mind.
What's up, people? We're back with another episode of the 2-Minute Warning Pride Rules MMA podcast. Our co-host roundtable consists of myself, the straw that stirs the drink, Carl. What it do? Across the room and over the wall, we got Chris. Pleasant Mountain, New York, we got Omar. I know it's not Pleasant Mountains. I just like to say it. I like the sound of it. And going from Virginia to New Jersey, Tommy D. What's up, gentlemen?
What's up, guys?
Yeah, a little change. We got Ring of Combat fighter Mike Elshamy on the show today. He should be calling in a little bit. Like to bring you guys a guest every few weeks just to keep things spicy.
Shamy.
Shamy. Am I pronouncing that right, Tommy? Mike Elshamy?
Mike Elshamy, yeah.
Mike Elshamy. All right, cool. I don't want to offend him when he comes on. And I believe, Tommy, I don't know if you want to, do a little intro of who the fighter is, since you basically, I don't know if you trained with him, but he trained at the gym that you trained at. So why don't you have a couple sentences here to describe to the listeners who he is.
Oh, man, I've been training with Shamy ever since I first started at Madama 6 years ago. He was a blue belt when I started. He's a black belt now. He's a really awesome fighter, terrific wrestler. And, Chris, believe it or not, you and I and Shamy all wrestled with Rudy.
Oh, yeah?
Remember Rudy Medini?
Rudy. How can I forget Rudy?
Hell yeah,
we wrestled with
all
Rudy
remember Rudy.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
nice.
you probably remember his sister more than him because you two played football together.
Oh.
Well, yeah, she actually, no, Omar, it's funny because her and Jen, this girl Jen, Paolela or whatever, was also, she was the one in my grade. Rudy's sister was a year older, but they were on the team that, I was still hung back. I was quarterback on the middle team, and they were playing on the big team at that time because they were a little bit older. I believe Jen was a year older.
Little, middle, big. That they don't know what that shit. It's like junior.
Well, the medium team, the junior Pee-wee, the Pee-wee team I was on, not the midgets, but yeah, it sounded pretty funny. You know her, you played football with her. No, it wasn't like that. But Rudy was he while he didn't have a couple screws loose, he seemed like that. He was a cool dude.
Enough about
Hell of an athlete. Yeah, exactly. But we got Mike coming on at a little bit. I don't know exactly when he's calling. Tommy coordinated that, but as usual, our hosts call him, between 8 and 8:30 at some point. But the first story I wanted to get into real quick, guys. There was a story online here of an MMA fighter saving a man from choking on the side of the road. This guy, Pavel, I can't even pronounce his last name, Pavel Faziuk or something. Apparently he was driving past the guy. Yeah, he was driving past the guy, and he seen some dude standing outside his car, doubled over, and he was like, oh, this guy might need some help with his car. Pulls over, turns out the guy's choking on food that he was eating on the way to work, and he wound up, I don't even know if he couldn't get his arms around him to give him the Heimlich, so he basically got behind him and I don't know if he punched him or slammed down on his back to try to get the food dislodged. But, just the only reason why I'm talking about this, can you guys believe?
What about Bob?
Pretty much. He was jumping, slamming on his back trying to get this food out. The only reason why I wanted to talk about this to you guys, what's amazing to me is, if this guy stopped to pick up his keys, if he had to go back in because he thought he left the stove on, if he got caught at a red light, he would have never seen that guy in that state, and his fate could have been a much darker one, to be blunt. Basically, he could have died. So I just thought that was pretty crazy that this dude basically saved his life just by chance driving over it.
And it's MMA related because this guy trains somewhere in a gym. Right?
Exactly. That's my loophole that I wanted to bring you guys. We like to keep the first story a little saucy. It's not a big thing that we're going to spend a lot of time on. So, I wanted to bring that one up. I don't know. Tommy had something else that he wanted to talk about as like a wild story, but whatever. We don't even have to get into that. The main news that I wanted to get into, which was going on last week, and I know me and Tommy have gone back and forth on it. I don't know how Omar feels. I would actually like to get his opinion on it first. This fight that happened last weekend, the Bellator fight between Tito and Chael. A lot of people were claiming the fight was fixed just because of the way it looked. The choke, the rear naked choke, wasn't even a choke. It was around his throat. I mean around his chin. An uncomfortable position, but not a real tappable one, nonetheless, so to speak. But Omar, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think the fight could have been, the fix might have been in, or what?
I think it's a disservice to other fights to call this kabuki theater an actual fight. So I think we should just pump the brakes on calling it a fight. I know that Tyron Woodley texted me and he said that it was racist how the two light-skinned people didn't go at it as hard as expected for his dark-skinned brethren. No, this fight was completely and utterly a fix. I think Tommy will back me up on this 100%. Not so much because
no way.
I mean that choke. You can get somebody with that neck crank. I mean, I've had it done to me. I've done it to people not at my gym because it's kind of a D-bag move if you're choking.
Frankie Edgar and Carl Swanson.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a dickhead move to do to somebody because it hurts so bad. It's like a choke.
It's letting it go. It's letting that dart go earlier. Is what makes me conclusively think that's the magic bullet. All right, the Zapruder film. We have everything we need to realize that this conspiracy is 100% true. All right, there wasn't a grassy knoll guy. It was just a really bad acting job. I've seen better fixes in Pride, and those Pride were horrible. Come on, guys.
Yeah, but what about the fact that he held the choke a little tighter, and McCarthy actually was seen and heard in the octagon or in the cage after? I know it's not octagon. In the cage afterwards, like reprimanding Tito, like, I know this is your last fight, but don't ever do that again. You made me have to jump in there and push off. I mean, could it have been
maybe
something
McCarthy
where he
didn't know. Maybe he wasn't in on it.
Well, McCarthy, he couldn't. Well, that's true. I don't think McCarthy would be in on it, but
that's like a highly illegal thing to do for guys that don't really. That's my point. To do it.
There's so much money on the line
to, like,
regularly.
Him,
I think that
a good send-off, like, I don't know, man.
Right, and what Dan Hardy actually tweeted. Dan Hardy. Well, but did you see how happy Tito was? Like, would Tito really have been like? Does he really want to go out that way, fixing a fight and then kind of like being rode off into the sunset?
Tito got $300,000 for that fight. I don't really think he gives too much of a shit.
Who was the favorite?
Bars. All right, that's 3 chocolate bars, I want to say. All right, $300,000. Bro, he made out like a bandit. Are you kidding me? Chael got paid 45 cents and some pocket.
That's a good chocolate bar. I'm a fan of the $100,000 bar.
Chael alone. Yeah. Chael was the only one that was really needed to fix the fight in that sense because,
Well, was he the underdog or was he I mean, I'm assuming he was the underdog or I don't know because it wouldn't work if he's the favorite. So. He's not, If you're going to fix a fight, you're going to be the underdog. You're going to bet against yourself, or
it doesn't matter what he was.
Lose.
Bet against himself either way.
I guess it would work if it's the other way. If you're the favorite and the underdog wins, you bet on the underdog. So yeah, he'd have to be the favorite to fix that fight.
It doesn't matter.
I understand what you guys are saying. It does matter, kind of, because there's no point to fix it if you're the favorite.
If he elects to lose, he could just simply bet more against himself. Even whether he's the favorite or the underdog, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but my point is,
Chris knows about fixing fights. I'm a little concerned about how much Chris knows.
But what I'm saying is, he just decided to fix this. He just decided to fix the fight on his own. Like no one else was in on it. No one set to make so much more money than this. And that usually happens if you're the underdog or if the underdog wins. If Tito was the favorite.
What bearing does it have if you're the favorite or the underdog? If you're looking to fix the fight, you could bet more money. It doesn't matter. It's like literally does not matter who's the favorite. The winner,
I know what you're saying.
The winning bet.
So he just decided to fix the fight himself without telling anybody I'm going to lose and make myself look worse. Going out to Tito and just to make himself some extra money.
I'm not saying he did that at all. I'm saying the fight wasn't fixed, but I'm saying the only person you really needed to fix the fight was the losing fighter. You don't need a bunch of people in on it. You know what I mean? He just
Yeah,
needs
I
one
guess
guy.
you're right. I don't know. I have a problem going down that slope.
Whether he's the favorite or the underdog has absolutely zero bearing on it.
Phrasing, please, Carl. All right, let's keep it.
Right.
You know what?
Dealing with Chris, he's very, very technical like that. So I do have to watch my lips.
With the Bellator past fights where people were saying they were fixed, I usually defended Bellator saying no, it definitely wasn't fixed. The Kimbo Ken Shamrock fight was extremely fugazi, and then you look at this one and it just, I don't know, man.
Yo, but just if you got guys that are willing to like put on a shitty performance or willing to like go out a little earlier than most other guys would, or don't have cardio, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like, just calling a fight fixed or calling it like a Bob Sapp type performance where he's just a bitch, and you know, like I don't know, the Kimbo Ken Shamrock fight just seemed like two guys that couldn't perform well. You know what I mean? And like it just looked like a shitty fight. It almost looked staged. It was so bad.
If you look at the article where Dan Hardy talks about it, he's like, I don't even look so much in the actual finishing tap move, the submission. He's like, looking into it beforehand, he's like, the takedown was so weak. He's like, I'm bad at defending the takedown, and I could have got out of that. He's like, there was no hand jostling, no hand fighting really for position.
Fighting, I don't know, man.
There's obviously things that point to it. But again, like I don't like going down that road until I know for sure, just because it's
and here's
it's something that I don't want to believe.
When a British guy is making fun of somebody's wrestling, you know you're in a bad spot, right, guys? I think we can all agree.
That's actually a good point.
Tail hasn't talked about it. His podcast dropped today. He didn't mention one word about it. He talked about him getting kicked off The Apprentice. Didn't talk anything about his fight.
Because he still needs half the payout from Tony the Greek. Yeah.
I wouldn't talk about losing either. And he's certainly not going to bring up a fix or anything like that because, you know, it's not something that you really want to discuss.
If people are coming out saying that your fight was fixed and you want to convince people that it wasn't, wouldn't you go on your show?
I don't think that he's really concerned with convincing people of anything. I don't think that he really has anything to prove.
I mean,
well, yeah, you're right because he signed a 6-fight deal.
You're probably
he signed a 6-fight
right.
deal.
He was already pulled from Submission Underground 3 because he's got a fight set to go in January for Bellator. But I guess both of you are right. Chris, you're right that he doesn't really have anything to prove. But Tommy, you're also right in the fact that he has a big forum. He's got a voice. He's got, you know, he could say whatever he wants on his show about it, discussing that you know, not have to worry about going on someone else's show and discussing it. Like, he's got a platform for that. So if it gets too bad, I don't think we've heard the last of it. He might still address it down the road. But
I don't know. I don't know that it needed to be addressed yet. Like, it's not like it's his big thing.
Well, that's what I was just about to say.
You know, I heard Boss Rutan come out and said there's no way it was fixed. You know, so, you know.
There you go, Omar.
I know.
Don't you invoke that?
Drunk Uncle Pete said fucking.
Horrible.
He said that, like, Dan Hardy was, like, the best MMA mind in the world or something like that, but I tend to think that Boss Rutan might have a little bit better of an edge in the analytical game.
Wait. Drunk Uncle Pete said that Dan Hardy's the best MMA mind in the sport?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, he didn't say the best.
He's never getting on the show again.
He's one of the top.
I was going to say.
Right now.
And I said, well,
he's not even close.
He's in the he's an MMA analyst, and he's a former fighter, but he doesn't necessarily mean that he's better at analyzing it than even me, for that matter. You know, just because he was a fucking fighter.
He's good for a red coat.
For a red coat.
But, you know, Boss Rutan came out and said that it wasn't fixed. So, you know, whose word would you go on?
Boss Rutan talks good about almost everything. You very rarely hear him talk bad about anything.
Boss Rutan calls it like he sees it, as far as I know.
But I understand. But a lot of people want to keep the integrity of the sport alive, and I think that me and Boss Rutan might have that in common, where we think that to begin with, without even looking at the facts. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't want to think that
the
the fight's
more of a reason to call out the fucking bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Boss Rutan also knows the same thing that we all know. Nothing. He has nothing to do with Bellator. He has nothing to do with either fighter. So
I just think that, like, as far as an organizational thing goes, that's risking a ton, man. That's risking a whole lot. That's a very highly illegal thing to do. There's a lot of money exchanged there. You know,
unless somebody comes out and
high
admits
places.
unless somebody comes out and
We have a
we'll
caller.
never really know.
This has got to be quick. Can't have too many voices.
Nobody's gonna come out and
What's
admit
up?
it and say, oh yeah, we fixed the fight, guys. You're right. You know.
Introducing Drunk Uncle Pete, ladies and gentlemen, because he's supposed to do that.
Doesn't
But
know
hold
how
on.
to do it
But
himself.
hold on. Did he say that, yes or no, true or false, Pete? Did you really say that Dan Hardy was one of the greatest MMA minds of all time? Okay, let's hear
I
this.
said
'cause
Dan
I'm
Hardy.
gonna boot you
I
right
said
off.
Dan Hardy is one of the best analysts right now, and
Hang
of
up
all
on
time. Yes, and of all time. Correct. Yeah.
No,
Dan
I-
Hardy's
see,
a great
I-
analyst.
I-
I don't know if you guys have actually sat down and watched him break down fights, but he's very, very great at
The
analyzing
breakdowns
fights.
are really good, but you know
I
what
wouldn't
I
say
mean
he's one of the
is,
greatest MMA minds of all time. No, but he's
Yeah.
like one of the best analysts that's out right now that I watch and listen to. But
for
Well,
Brit, I guess.
I don't know about that, but whatever. We're entitled to our opinions, and that's good that he has an opinion. I don't know what the hell that noise is, but don't ever make it again.
I mean, even
Oh,
Whatever that
Frank
noise
Mir,
is, stop.
even Frank
Chris.
Mir came out and said something.
Fellatio.
And Frank Mir came out and said something too. And guess what? I think his fight with Crow Cop was fixed. If any of you remember
100%
that.
was.
Here's my
That thing was
thought on
100%
this
of
fucking
work.
fight is I think that the fight was fixed by Chael. I think that Chael, threw the fight.
Right. If there's anybody that threw the fight, it was one person, and that was Chael. But
Right.
there's
I
no
don't
way
think it was
there's
a big
bunch
thing. I
of
think
people in on this.
I think Tito has too much pride to fucking, be in on a fixed fight. I think that if anything, it was like a
Chael
backdoor
cheats on
deal
his
behind
taxes. He
backdoor
throws
deal
fights.
with Coker
He
and
extorts money.
Chael or something, where they said, all right, we're going to do this.
One of the
Cheats
times.
on
And
his
like
fighters.
Tommy pointed out, Chael went from making six figures in the UFC to come to Bellator fight and make $50,000. I mean, even that right there. I mean, let alone the
Well,
fight.
it's either make $50,000 or make nothing, because you're not going to get a fight in the UFC anymore.
What do you mean
So
make nothing?
he's just
He makes, dude, he
would've
makes
got
a
something in the
very good
UFC.
living at what he does
fighting. Make nothing fighting. He wants to fight
he
still.
would've
He's going
got
to
a
go where
fight
they're
in the
going to give him a
UFC.
fight.
I don't know that,
Yeah.
I think Chael, there's
I
more
don't know.
to what he's doing with Bellator. He's making money on the side. Like, I don't know that his fight, purse really has
To fight
much to
Gabby
do
and
with
Ryzen.
what he's making.
To go and take up that.
I don't know,
and-
but the fight definitely was
Right.
fishy, dude.
They're paying him to do other things. He's like their ambassador
Excuse me.
almost. Weird.
Yeah, he's making
Yeah,
money. I don't know.
whatever. He's their biggest.
In his
He's their biggest name guy.
introduction,
That's going to happen.
in his Bellator introduction, I hear him say it a lot. They go, the highest paid MMA fighter of all time. Is there any truth to that?
No.
No, absolutely not. I don't
That's
know
just
what the
what,
hell
Conor
happened. Look
they
into it.
introduced. Even when they introduced him coming out before the fight, it was like the highest paid MMA fighter of all time. Chill.
Well, he did
Maybe
make
at Bellator.
really good money with the UFC, because if you think about most of his fights, they were all high-profile fights.
Mm-hmm.
They were
Yeah,
all
but the way that
fights,
money
no matter
goes,
how
and you look at football, you look at any other sport, the way that money goes, the current money is always the most money, and Conor's made the most current good money.
I would
and
think
that,
so by
that
far.
One card
Yeah, but
trumps
Chael's been
what
saying
people
that
make in their
since- yeah,
career.
No. Chael's been saying that since before Conor came out. So maybe at one
Okay,
time
well, since
Chael
then.
was.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. We're talking current, which is what I like to
Brock
do. is
Lesnar
speak
made a
current.
shit ton of money for like one fight. Like there's
Ronda,
guys
right? It's. I don't think Chael.
Chael's not in his
But
own
listen,
road.
it wouldn't be the
MMA.
first sporting event that was ever had a fix or a dive in it, and it won't be the last. And for people to just be like so adamant that there's no way that there was a fix or a dive taken, it's just crazy to me. I mean, like I said,
just think
it
that
I just don't think there was. There's always a way, but
I don't.
and nobody's
buy it.
ever going to come out and be like, yeah, it was fixed. You're right. You caught us. Like it's just you have to make your own fucking opinion and assumption on
That's the
it.
thing, dude.
Well,
Usually
you got to be a good
nowadays-
actor. I don't want to
usually
talk too much
nowadays,
about this.
Things all come out in the long run. Everything comes
Right.
out.
There's
Especially
too much
now,
video.
because recordings, texting, and there's some data somewhere. If this was a fix and it's legit, then there's some trail somewhere, and it might come out.
Yeah.
So
Might come out.
the basketball player or the basketball refs that got busted for doing all that shit.
The point shaving is, you got to get too many people involved. That's why if there's more names involved, the more chance it is to get the whistle blown on you, because someone's going to leak something somewhere eventually. That's just what's going to happen. So, I mean,
Well, we're just gonna have to wait
we can
and
go
see.
back and forth all day. We have our opinions. Let's see what happens. I just wanted to get everyone, caught up to what happened this weekend. Fans out there, if you guys aren't watching these Bellator cards, they're free, man. Check them out. It's good fights usually. That flying knee was brutal.
Or watching Bellator. If they're listening to this show,
well, let's hope. Let's hope. Some people might just be listening for the first few times and not know much, trying to gain a MMA background. These, the 2-minute warning family doesn't, they're not into MMA as we are alone. So, if we got someone listening right now, who knows? But while we're talking about the 2-minute warning, I do want to just take a second and let everybody know, if you haven't joined the 2-minute warning group on Facebook, go out there, search 2-minute warning, join the group. We're all in it. We all love it. So, get going already, get caught up to speed, and make sure you join us and follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube page, Pride Rules. Our Twitter and our Instagram accounts are the same. It's Pride_Rules 2MW. Pride_Rules 2MW. And guys, real quick, I just want to give ourselves a round of applause. I forgot to mention at the top of the show, we are on iTunes now, so I know we got some work to do, but I'm very proud of that. And Omar, you really busted your ass on that, Omar. You guys seem right. I'm very happy about that.
I think Carl just busted his ass.
No, my headphones. I pulled my headphones
super
out.
Excited.
But I am excited.
Pride 15.
Yo, Carl, are you good right now? What's going on?
Hello?
Yeah, your headphones are fucking up.
I pulled the headphones.
It is pretty awesome.
But yeah, I'm happy as hell we're on iTunes.
And I see our podcast right on top of Boss Rutan and Mauro Ornella's. It's a nice feeling.
Oh, it's a better awesome. So we're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, of course Blog Talk, Libsyn. There's plenty of places to find us now, and that platform's just growing. We're at that website.
We're on your mom's radio.
Especially your
girlfriend. Radio. Most of the time.
Your mom's radio.
Exactly.
We're favorites. We're followed by all your girlfriends. We're followed by all your mothers. Everybody.
Yeah.
But big things. We got a website coming. The website coming, the blog coming. We got big things on the horizon for 2017. So I just wanted to let everybody know. Make sure you follow us on social media. Every social media page isn't the same. We post different shit, so it's really fun to listen to and watch and follow.
Boys, but, before I go, man, I just wanted to – I called in not only to clear my name from the fact that I did not say Dan Hardy was the greatest MMA mind of all time, but what do we think about this Cowboy Cerrone and Jorge Masvidal fights coming up this weekend?
Who's Cowboy Cerrone?
Cowboy Cerrone, Cerrone. However, I hear his name said 8 different ways. But
is that the lasagna king of Denver? Cowboy Cerrone? Is that the lasagna king?
I hear his name said that way. I hear Cerrone, whatever.
Pete, guys, stop. Pete, stop talking, guys. Pete, you're better than that. You know what his last name is. You made a mistake. It's all good. You know it's Cowboy Cerrone. No, but honestly,
Masvidal. I hear Cerrone too.
Yes.
No, bro. He's a casual fan. I don't blame him for not. The casual fans.
Oh,
God.
Pete, what do you think? What do you think?
I'm going with Cowboy on this one, but I think it's going to be a banger. I think it's definitely going to be a banger.
Yeah,
Masvidal's very underrated.
Bro.
Yeah, very underrated fighter. He's got high praise from John Kavanagh. McGregor's coach was praising his striking and saying that he's just peaking now. He's lost some fights that he shouldn't have, definitely in recent times. Mm-hmm. But I think that it's going to be a close fight. I think if somebody doesn't get knocked out early, I think it's going to be
it might be a submission.
Could be a
Cowboy has to make sure
he's going to be a knockout, submission, or a decision. Probably.
It's either going to be like a first-round knockout or a decision, in my opinion.
Or a long, boring decision.
Honestly, Masvidal by Santeria and the ghost of Kimbo Slice comes down and tags him in like Capcom tag team. And goes,
Hamill. I was watching The Ultimate Fighter with Matt Hamill, where he was just doing.
Oh my God! Don't even start.
When I start wooing everybody, it's not a Flair impersonation. It's Matt Hamill.
Speaking of Flair, is it Mike Elshamy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Isn't his nickname the Nature Boy? That's freaking great.
No, that is not
segue.
his nickname. That is not his
What?
nickname. A friend of his.
It's
no,
written all over
that.
internet.
I know that.
Yeah.
You could let him tell the story, but that is not his nickname.
Yeah, we better.
All right, we'll let him tell the story. I don't want to hear your voice. Yo, guys. All right.
Oh.
So moving on.
Oh.
Great segments. I like where we're going so far. But I wanted to talk about this. Remember, just picture a fight. A guy gets knocked down, like he's basically knocked out, right? But he's still with it a little bit. How effective do you think hammer strikes are? Like, what's with these hammer fists that basically look like a 12-year-old who doesn't know how to throw a punch, hammering down on the spine of some kid who's about to shoot a double on them?
Yo,
like,
if they're done right, they're
why not
super
punch
effective.
normal? Yeah, but why not just turn your fist?
If they're done
I
right,
think a regular punch.
The idea is to stop the fight.
You know what?
Right, but it's just like rain down a bunch of punches that don't hurt instead of like two or three punches that you know are going to put this guy out.
Do you realize
I don't get what you mean,
the
don't
hardest
hurt.
part of your hand?
Yo, you
Are
could
you
hit him.
kidding me?
The idea is to hit with that bone.
My knuckles are harder than my freaking hand in that corner.
Yeah,
It's a little
guess
puffy,
what?
I guess.
You could break your hand punching straight on. You're not going to break your hand hammer fist.
Oh, yo, the hammer fists
You're
are
full of
more
shit,
effective.
dude. That's so
Carl,
incorrect.
Carl. The
Okay.
hammer fists are more
Whoa.
effective than you think, dude. Especially when you got a guy on his fucking, the cradle's already
Effective
rocked.
for what?
so
The
to
ref
speak.
to stop the ref to stop it because you're just
No,
hitting with a
because
bunch.
all you have to do is keep on, repetitive blows. When a guy is already fucking rocked like that,
I just think they look
punch him
weak.
in his jaw and knock him out. It doesn't matter what they look like; it's what they do to the fighter. How many times have you seen a guy get dropped but not be out, and then get hammer fisted twice and be out? A lot. Look at what Conor
I've seen
did
a
to
lot of
Aldo.
times where
Margin
that's
for
pretty
error,
much what
though,
I'm
too.
talking about. Like,
That's where I go.
Yo, but
No,
those
I go for
hammer
margin
fists,
for error.
They
in
hurt,
terms of,
dude.
I'll give you
You're
that
gonna miss.
margin for error.
You're gonna
Margin
miss.
for error, and you're
You're
swinging
gonna
a
miss a
bunch
lot
of
more.
times that are they're unanswered
And if
punches
you miss,
and shit.
you'll
Margin
kill
for
your
error
hand.
is the biggest part of it.
That's the thing. Exactly. When you got the guy on the ground and you're going for something like that, if
It's
you
like
can
finish
land
the fight.
like the pull the guard aside and the Hadouken Superman punch into the guard, like Munoz used to do, then that's great. But hammer fist, in terms of you see the guy moving, you see his head kind of go from side to side. You can follow his head a lot easier with a hammer fist than you can with a straight-on punch.
And
at that point, you're
you
still
can hit
hitting
with
him
the forearm. You can land with the elbow, the
Exactly.
forearm. It doesn't matter. There's
You're still
Okay,
killing
I
him.
get that's
Donkey
fine.
Kong.
I
Donkey
don't
Kong
think
says they're good.
they're as strong as a regular punch. I
They're
get what
not.
you guys are saying. That's why I'm curious. I'm just curious.
Carl,
but I would think
also
that.
think about this. Not to cut you off, but think about how many
you're
times you've seen a guy go for the actual normal punches and miss, and a guy gets to recover.
Well, I've seen a lot of guys go for hammer fists that weren't really as effective, and they eventually rolled out.
Well,
And my
that's
point is,
also probably
put them away with
because-
2 or 3. Jump in side mount or side control, and
But those fights
kind
probably
of hit
wouldn't
them
have
2 or
gotten
3
finished
times
either
with
way.
good punches.
Those fights probably wouldn't have gotten finished either way.
I don't know. I'm gonna get some video evidence and talk to you guys about what I mean. But I get what you're saying.
I could
it was
tell you
something that I saw
personal
and I was
evidence.
curious.
I could tell you personal evidence from being at a fight, seeing somebody get their jaw broke from a hammer fist.
Well, that's because their fucking mouth is open and shit. Like that doesn't happen all the time. I've seen 10,000 hammer fists land
matter.
and never seen a jaw broke. I saw what's his face get his jaw broken.
That's a ridiculous statement, Carl. Ridiculous.
All prefer
It's
to
as
get
ridiculous as
straight
yours.
on.
As ridiculous as yours before about having your knuckle can break, but the side of your hand can't break landing a hammer fist. I disagree with that. But
that
whatever.
came from Boss Rutan himself.
Less likely.
Well, he's insane.
Well, what?
Why
don't you ask our
Don't
fighter?
you do this?
I'm gonna.
Ask our fighter.
I plan on it.
Bong, bong.
I plan on it. But now apparently the new news. I don't know what you guys are. If you guys have anything else you want to bring up, but I kind of just read online before that Bisping is now getting cold feet with the Yoel Romero call out, and now he doesn't want to fight him necessarily because he's looking for a bigger money fight. I mean, I don't hate fighters for wanting to go after the gold fucking ticket, whenever they can, but I mean, how many guys is Bisping going to call out before he even gets fight? He can't even fight until late spring anyway. So what's he even doing talking? He's running his mouth. He's kind of like, in my eyes, it's becoming like a sideshow. It's corny to me that these guys like do
I
that.
think
like,
he got a good look at
somebody
Yoel
quietly and
finally.
go.
I think it took him a while to get a good look at Yoel. So I think finally when he put him in the good eye, he's like, oh boy, that's a big boy.
Boredom, and it's a little bit of like he wants to remain champion as long as possible, and his biggest competition out there and biggest threat is 100% Yoel Romero. And I'm a Bisping guy, but I just don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
I
agree.
A lot
to deal with. It's a lot.
Where is he going to go? Where is he going to go from there to get more money, though? That's what I don't understand. Like, where is he looking to go, basically, if he's not going to go Romero? Everybody, the fans seem to want him.
That's where he should go. He should go fix fights in Bellator with Champ.
Maybe looking at, like, Anderson Silva, like, Souza? Don't be surprised, bro. They gave Dan Henderson a title shot. Don't be surprised if Anderson Silva gets a title shot.
Doesn't, like... I don't even know, like Rockhold, Souza, even Masasi.
Everybody else
None of these
guys are money fights, though. None of these guys are money fights. If they gave Anderson Silva a title shot,
that's my point.
In Brazil, it would be a fucking huge payday.
I guess I don't know. I can't see that. Then
that. But I don't know, man. Like I don't know.
Together.
Who's the money fight? Nick Diaz? Like, are we gonna go back to that again?
No, we're not. We're not gonna go back to that.
No. But that's my point. He called him out, called GSP out, called Weidman out, called Romero out. Like, shut up already, dude. You called out
Weidman,
and backed at him every
isn't even a money fight. You ain't gonna. The champion ain't gonna fight the guy.
But why were you going to have a champ fight a guy who's like 9th in the rankings and how is that guy still making all that money to begin with? If that's the case, this shit is seriously flawed. Anderson Silva.
Oh.
So,
it's just... Yeah, I mean, why did he just fight Dan Henderson?
Rematch? I don't know.
Well, that was a revenge fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but why did he fight him? Why did the UFC have him fight Dan Henderson? That's what I'm saying. Fuck the revenge fight, this, that, the other thing. I'm just showing based off of the rankings. It's like, don't be surprised is what I'm saying. If they give somebody that doesn't deserve the shot just because it's the fucking, the money fight, so to speak.
I guess he was the champ, and they're letting the champ call out who he wants, but he's still the champ. My point is, why is he waffling so much? And that's I don't know. There's just a lot of layers to this.
He's Connor to come back.
Yo,
that's what he's
reading an article and him actually waffling are two different things. Also,
I'm reading quotes by him. I'm reading quotes.
The bottom line is, if he's when he's offered the contract to fight Romero, is he going to sign it? Probably. You know what I mean? Like, he's allowed to say what the fuck he wants, but ultimately it comes down to what the UFC says. He's going to do what they tell him to do. That's just it.
I guess. I don't know. Then if that's the case, he needs to shut up even more. It's making my point even more so.
I don't know. I don't
he's
think
a movie star now, man.
Just him talking, him being bored, and him calling guys out and saying shit on Twitter. I don't think that's much of a big deal. Like, they made the Woodley fight. No, they didn't. Woodley signed to fucking fight Wonder Boy. You know what I mean? Like, all that shit was not real. It's all, like, two guys standing there, and neither one is going to, like, back down in front of the cameras. So they fake like they're going to fight. That wasn't real, dude.
Yeah, whatever. I agree with that. That's just nonsense. But
back in the day, he was calling all these guys out because he was looking to get a fight at UFC 208. But now it turned out that he wasn't able to fight. So all them call-outs, they go to shit because he wasn't able to fight. So it makes it seem like he's talking a lot of shit, but I don't think he really is. He's the champ.
I think he needs to stick to it. If he calls somebody out, stick to it and say, I wanted to fight this guy. It's like, don't open your mouth. If you learned once, you didn't, learn twice.
But he didn't.
Three times
you're saying he called out Weidman. I don't think he called out Weidman after Weidman lost. He wanted to fight Weidman if he won, but...
No, he said he wanted to fight Weidman after he lost.
Right, I can go back in my notes, dude. It was after the fact that... Yes, he did, bro. That's why I said it. I brought it up. Like, what's he talking about?
He wanted to give Weidman a title shot over Romero, even though Romero his fucking head into the fucking guard.
Well, no, because he said that Romero's a cheater. He doesn't deserve a shot. Chris Weidman deserves a shot. Those are his exact words.
Right. I'm looking it up in my old notes, but I definitely have it, and it is what it is. But I don't know. I just think that he's doing more detriment by opening his mouth a million times about shit and backing away. And, yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Sage Northcutt apparently is moving down to 155 after a lesson learned, quote unquote, or no, a learning experience. Yeah, he learned that them boys are too big at 170 for his ass. I don't care what them muscles do. I don't know, man. I think they'll have better success at the 55-pound division, but weight.
He announced that in the fucking octagon pretty much after his fight.
Did he? I don't remember that.
Yeah, and I think on Twitter too, he said something like, it was fun, blah blah blah. Going to go back down to my natural weight.
Sage hasn't lost any fights at lightweight. The only fights that he lost were the ones that he went up to welterweight for.
Yeah, no, this is definitely. Right. I don't know that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I knew that already, based off of.
Oh yeah, Chris.
I'm pretty sure he did say that after the Mickey Golf fight.
Does anybody else have anything to say today? I feel like I'm talking the whole time. Does anybody want to speak? Anybody have anything to bring up? I'm not trying to be a dick.
Sounds like the voice of God at this moment, so I'm a little impressed. Like I don't know what to say. I don't know if I should ask permission. But no, I think Sage Northcutt probably just needs to stop doing his hair as much, and he can probably drop to 145. And then Cody Garbrandt can go.
I'm gonna punch the spikes off his head.
That's pretty much it. It's like fighting.
When he gets down there, he can learn some ground skills.
Yo, quick question: is the line open? Is he able to get through right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's going to be home in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
All right. No, I'm just.
Who's watching the board today? Come on, you think I'm a novice here, guys? Let's go.
Bro, I'm just making sure. Put me in my place.
Good Lord.
But I think Mickey Gall's dropping too, so we might see that fight again.
No, we won't.
I would love to. I'd like to see
Mickey Gall dropping is a horrible idea, dude, for him.
Gall kill him 7 times. I watch it 8 times. I'd watch it in a movie theater. I'd watch it in the parking lot at a Walmart. All right. I'd watch it in the parking lot where Tommy was staying a couple weeks ago. I would watch that fight over and over and over to see Mickey Gall give him a Jersey beatdown every damn time. Oh my God!
Why would Mickey Gall moving down be a horrible thing?
Because, dude,
for the 155 division, that would be a bad thing for the rest of the division.
I think it would be like when Cowboy moves down to 155. He's just better and more natural at welterweight.
Cowboy Cerrone or Cowboy Cerrone? Because there's 2 different fighters.
I don't even know
One of
that's
them fights out of
Colorado. He's more natural because he doesn't have to cut weight, but it doesn't mean he's better. I mean, Cowboy's only lost to 2 guys at lightweight. Dos Anjos and Diaz. It wasn't like he was like.
Yeah, but he doesn't look as good to me, Cowboy, when he fights lightweight than when he doesn't win.
And I think honestly, I think he is who he is. I think he's going to get right around to the top as a welterweight and get beat there too. He's not a championship guy. He's probably never going to hold a belt. He's just a guy that.
I don't know. I think it's finally Cowboy's time to get there.
Oliveira, Cerrone, or Cerrone? Which one?
You think Cerrone's going to win the welterweight title?
You're
telling me?
I could see him winning the welterweight title in 2017.
Damn, I could see him getting beat tomorrow, this weekend for that matter too, though.
That could happen too, without a doubt. But I just think that it's his time. He's been in the business for a long time. He hasn't gotten there yet. He had a couple shots, and I think it's going to be like the Bisping type thing. He's going to get there. I think if it's ever going to happen,
I wouldn't be mad, that's for sure.
He's going to outlast him.
I don't see him beating these top 3 guys in the welterweight division. I don't see him beating a Nick Diaz even, not even fucking close.
No one could beat Nick Diaz in your eyes, would it?
No.
That's not true.
Is Nick Diaz a top 3 guy in the welterweight division right now if he comes back?
I mean,
he's a top 1 guy.
I can't say it. I put Wonderboy and Woodley as 1 and 2 right now because of obvious.
He is.
But I don't think any other welterweight is beating Nick Diaz. Besides, I think Wonderboy gives him his best fight.
That division ain't that great. It's okay, but it ain't that great.
I mean, it's good.
Lawler, Maya.
It's the toughest division.
Y'all are forgetting about Woodley. All right,
Bellator's
bastard.
welterweight is stacked.
Y'all are forgetting.
Who's Woodley?
Stop it. I haven't heard one mention of the King's name. All right, good Lord. Jesus.
Can I ask you a quick question, a production meeting question? Do you still hear that godly echo?
Yeah.
Really?
And I'm thinking you're gonna tell me 10 things to do with my life, and I need to write them down. Like I'm getting ready. I have a pen and paper. I feel you're gonna.
I just want to fix it before. I just want to fix it before he comes on. Like I don't know why I'm not doing anything different. It's weird.
Let's see.
I don't know.
He's
well.
fucking God. Talk. Jesus. Nobody talking. Everybody talking.
Good Lord.
My God.
I don't know.
So frustrating.
You know, like I thought we were doing like a technical difficulties thing, but anyway.
Tony
announce
Ferguson called
baseball
McGregor a little bitch.
And bring me back home.
Yeah,
make me think I'm still at the.
You know what
I don't think Cowboy is going to win a welterweight belt. Back to that.
We moved on. We moved on. Fuck Cowboy. I don't even care about Cowboy.
All right, well, what did we move on?
You're right.
Cerrone, what's the formuoli? That's what I want to know.
No, if you want to talk about Cowboy a little more, that's fine. I'm just trying to get rid of his echo.
Fucking reel the show back in and get it back on track to something MMA rather than like talking about your echo.
Nah, we're good. Well, I want to fix it for the show. Anyway, Tony Ferguson called McGregor a little bitch. Like, they're the same weight. What are you talking about, little bitch? He stated that McGregor's running from the division.
Well, no, you know what it is.
His last fight was at 55.
You know what it is?
Somebody answer that.
They have the same management company, and supposedly, according to Ferguson, a lot of the stuff that Ferguson was saying, Conor was like copying off of. So he's saying that all the shit that Conor talks is stuff that Tony Ferguson was saying, and the management company is kissing Conor's ass instead of his. That's what it's coming from. That's where it is.
Honestly, what it boils down to, Tommy, is he's probably just pissed off because he's got to fight for that interim belt, basically. Interim belts just bring out the worst in people.
It would bring out the worst.
He's trying to act like, what Conor's doing is like his blueprint and, he's not getting the credit for what, get the fuck out of here, dude. Conor took the world by storm. He went out there and did what he did. But the Jose Aldo World Tour that he fucking, completely put that dude on blast and made him look like a child acting out. And, Conor was a mastermind. I don't want to hear that this is Tony Ferguson's doing, by no means.
Yeah, he really beasted on it. And
caller.
He's got to dominate Ferguson, too.
We have a caller.
We got our caller?
Hello?
Hello. Mike.
Hey, what's up?
Mike, what's going on? Tommy, why don't you give him the intro? Say hello.
Oh, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have the new Ring of Combat welterweight, right, Shammy?
On my way there. I wouldn't say welterweight yet, but yeah, that's the plan.
Getting there.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So what's the catchweight fight? How come it's catchweight?
I wasn't having a lot of success with my weight loss, so I was getting kind of antsy to fight. So I asked the guys over at Ring Combat if they would throw me a catch weight, and my opponent agreed. So we said 175, and this would be a good stepping stone instead of jumping right into 170.
Awesome. So
not bad.
What do you know about your opponent?
Good wrestler. I believe he was a state champion for North Carolina. Pretty heavy hands, actually. I was watching a couple of his videos, so I'll be a little bit dangerous if I don't keep my hands up. Yeah, I want to set it up a little.
You got to watch out for. Well, I would like to just set it up just so the listeners know what's going on. Mike, you're 3-3 in your pro career with 2 subs, 1 decision. The gentleman you're fighting in AC on February 24th, his name is Willie Hosch, I believe.
Yeah,
I don't know really how to pronounce it. Hosch, right? Okay, but he's 4-3. Yeah, so you guys are right around the same record-wise, and it should be good. I didn't realize this fight was this close to us. I mean, it's literally like an hour away from my home, so I'm considering maybe taking a ride down there. I don't know if Tommy's going to be in New Jersey. It would be nice to go support. Yeah, I just like to support the local talent, It would be great.
Yeah, the shows are always great. There's a lot of good talent on this card besides me.
Seems like there's a lot of fights.
Yeah.
Good amount of fights I saw, so.
At least 3 title fights, possibly 4 or 5. I think I saw them post on Facebook, but I know there's at least 3 that night.
And that's rare. You don't see that. I mean, they did that for 205 in the UFC, which was a great thing. So, like, you know, you guys, those are important fights. These guys are champions.
How often do they have a card during combat?
Usually every 3 or 4 months, about that.
Oh, nice.
And is it always in AC?
Yeah, every show I've done for the past 3 years for them has been at the Tropicana. They made a little noise when professional MMA was made legal in New York, but they haven't made any moves yet to go up there.
Right. I'm sure there's plenty of tape they got to go through to get to that point. But
yeah. Man, I went to Ring of Combat when it was still a ring. The cage is fairly new.
Yeah,
you know, that's how long ago I went there. You know, the cage is fairly new. It's only about maybe 5 years old they've had that cage.
That's awesome.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you something. Do you have a preference? Would you prefer to fight in a cage or in a ring?
Cage, I think, is a lot safer. I mean, I think off the top of my head, I've seen 3 or 4 fights recently where someone takes a topple outside the cage. Outside
right.
the ring. And it's
Rest in peace,
at that
Bernard
point, it comes up
Hopkins.
to the referee to watch the fighters.
Right.
Sometimes they don't do a good job.
Yeah.
How about that Joe Rogan theory on fighting in an open field and went like on a
that's why I like
court,
the ring, man.
Yeah, as a wrestler, I'm kind of against that. I like being able to pin people close to the fence.
Gotcha.
The ring would also play a little bit better into my hand because the corners are much steeper. It's a 90-degree angle. It's harder for people to escape that as opposed to the octagon where they're much wider, so it's easier for them to circle left and right to get away from the fence.
No, I hear
it's hard
that.
to escape when you throw them over your shoulder, Champ.
Yeah.
That's the chamois move right there. In the cage, over the shoulder, and just suplexes them right on the ground. I love it.
That's my secret move, man. Don't give away my game plan.
Yeah, there was a little discussion about. There was a little discussion. Mike, by the way, my name is Carl. We got Carl, Tommy, my brother Chris, and Omar. Those are the 4 voices you're going to be hearing, just to give you a little heads up.
Thank you.
So I did want to ask you something. There was a little bit of discussion before you came on about your nickname. Is it the Wonder Boy? Or the Nature Boy? I'm sorry, or is it something else? Like, what about like Sham Wow, dude, or something like that? Let's do the
Come
show.
on,
dude. Sham Wow. Sham Wow has been a nickname that's one of many nicknames that's come around pretty much ever since I forget which infomercial it was.
Yeah, how
it's
original.
Sham Wow and the Super Shammy. That's the other one. I don't have a nickname. The Wonder Boy was the Nature Boy. Actually, I have a friend who, behind my back when I started fighting, made a Facebook page for me, and it was a joke page. And people made reference to this for years, and I had no idea about it. And it one day someone just let the cat out of the bag. They thought it was me. They thought I had made a joke page about myself. And apparently Tapology, Share Dog, all these people somehow picked up that nickname, and now they all had it on their website.
That's what I saw online.
That's almost like
looking at it.
That's if it wasn't so funny, I would have strangled my friend by now. But it is kind of funny. I've contacted a bunch of them to get it removed, and they're real slow to do it.
So Tommy wasn't wrong. I thought Tommy might have been lying to us.
No, that's my friend's doing. No,
dude,
I
come
can't
down
do
to the
that,
cage
man.
with a Madama fur coat, some sunglasses, saying come on, embrace it.
No way, man. That's beyond my acting ability.
Oh no.
So, just out of curiosity, what made you get into fighting? How long you been an active fighter? Training and whatnot. Is it something that dates back to, did you wrestle in high school?
Yeah. I started wrestling when I was, I think, 11 years old, 10 years old, somewhere around there. And I wrestled all the way through college up until about my sophomore year. And I didn't agree with the coaches there, and they kind of sucked the life out of the sport. and I was super depressed when I quit, and my roommates got me into jiu-jitsu, and it just kind of progressed from there. I started off saying, I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to compete. I'm just going to do this for fun. This is, just going to be an outlet. And the next thing you know, I'm out there at Naga, and it progressed from that. And I started kickboxing. I'm like, no, I'm just going to stick with grappling. Next thing I know, I'm buying a pair of gloves. All right, I'll hit pads, but I'm not going to ever get into sparring. I don't want to get hit in the head and all that stuff. Next thing I know, I'm locked in a cage. Like, how the hell did I get here? It just kind of progressed naturally from there. I love it, though. I can't stop myself from doing it.
Yeah, now you got the bug, so you got the love for it.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's a wonderful sport.
See, I'm the outcast here. These guys there's 3 BJJ guys, and I'm kind of the guy who's not really gotten into it. I just like the sport for what it is as a fan, and I'm unfortunate in that regard because I'm jealous of these guys. They know what it is, what it takes, what it does for you, and so you guys have all that in common. So I'm basically just the odd man out here. Makes me pissed off, to be honest with you, but
it's never too late to start, man. I'm an advocate for the sport.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's definitely something
That's the one thing too, yeah, man. Like you could go and it's like a business now. It's not like they're gonna go beat you out of a gym. If you have something, like you had a leg injury, like they'll work with you, guaranteed.
It's very, very hobby friendly.
Yeah. Bourdain did it.
Right.
At what age? Like when did he pick it up?
In his 50s. Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
I'm creeping there.
Yeah, well, when you don't have to really work. Yeah, but when you don't have to really work,
that's true.
You have an outlet like
it's easier to do that.
Constantly do. You know what I mean? Easier for him than it is for most people. But Carl, it's not too late. Cut your excuses. You could do it. You just don't want to.
No, I want to.
There's
other things that are getting in the way right now.
Oh, this is what we do, Sam. This is what we do.
No. Definitely calling
we
him
find out
though,
what bothers
I think
each
Tommy
of us, and we bring it right to the front.
Tommy wants to roll him up, I think, eventually. Right? Come on, Mike. Is that what you're getting? I think Mike's feeling that, too. Mike's like, Tommy's just looking to beat him up. Like, get on the mat. Get on the mat, Carl.
They bully me. They bully me because I'm not a fighter.
You know what? No. I've had more than my fair share of ass-kickings from Shammy.
Hell yeah. This guy taught Zeke how to train. Come on, man. Like,
I'm tired of him.
So you train at Madama BJJ, right?
Yeah, still
obviously. There. So, what could you say about? Is his name Josh? I'm sorry, I have it written down.
Yep. Yeah, Josh.
Yeah.
Yep.
How do you feel about him? Obviously, you're not gonna have too much bad to say about him, but you just want to speak on the gym and whatnot.
I got plenty of bad things to say about him. I just usually talk to his face and him go back and forth. No, I love Josh. He's gotten me to places I couldn't get to on my own. The thing that was most striking about Josh right from the start is he's always been a student of the sport. Even when I walked in, I had a fairly prestigious wrestling pedigree to my name, especially in the local area. And even as a white belt, he would turn around and ask me, like, hey, man, from a wrestler's perspective, what do you have from these particular spots? Never had an ego. It was always about just progressing his knowledge. If he knew he was lacking in wrestling, he found a wrestler who was better than him, and he trained, and he got better in that area.
I think that has to do something for your confidence, too. The coach is coming to you, he trusts you enough. Right.
Yeah. Of course, that feels great as a white belt to have someone come up and validate you like that. But just forever a student, always looking for the best teachers. Travels sometimes twice a week all the way up north. It's a 3-hour ride up to Matt Serra's school with traffic. Henzo Gracie's on Thursdays almost every week. All just to get better at the sport. That was the most attractive thing to me about the school.
Right. That's pretty cool. I mean, talking to Tommy, obviously he has nothing but good things to say. And just the few other guys he's brought in to interview have all said the same, including yourself, about Josh and the school. So, it looks like they got something good going on down there, which is
man,
it's good to hear. It's local. We're all local. Right. So me and my brother were talking
are you
before
going
this.
up to Chevy, are you going up
Go ahead,
to Sarah's training during your camp?
I do my best when I can. It depends on when my camp falls. If it's the summertime, because I work at the beach all summer. I spend most of my life there. It's difficult to get away. In the wintertime, I'll take a little bit more time to travel up because I'm a little freer because I just focus on fighting. But not this camp. I haven't made it up yet.
Oh, yeah, because I know Weidman's training for the Mousasi fight. I figured you two would get to roll it out a little bit since you're both kind of in a fight camp now.
Yeah, I should get up there and get in camp with him. He's a fantastic dude. Always willing to mix it up with me a little bit and always helping me. He's a stand-up dude.
Now, did you get to roll with Eddie Gordon at all when you were up there?
When I went to Sarah's a few times, I think like once or twice I've rolled with him. I never got to spar with him though.
That's cool. He was actually our first guest we brought on back literally like 3 months ago. We brought him in on the show, and it was good talking to him too. Same thing, guys basically fight with the same people, so it's pretty badass.
He's awesome. Yeah.
I was talking to my brother. I think it was either earlier this morning through email or late last night. Yeah, like what's the end game here? Like, what? Like, Chris, why don't you take it from here?
Yeah, like, say you had. All right. Obviously, the ultimate goal would be to fight for the UFC. Now, would that be the ultimate goal if Bellator came along and offered you a little bit more money? Would you take the Bellator deal because it was more money, or is it just the end game is to be in the UFC? Is that like the pinnacle? So you take less money to be there?
I that would have to be. I'd have to make that decision probably like when I got there, when that situation happened, because I'd have to see the exact numbers between where the possibilities of me getting into the UFC. If Bellator is offering me a spot right now, is the money worth it? There's so many variables attached to that question. I'd really have to be in a more specific spot to see it.
Yeah, I get it. It was just like we were talking before, and it was like I wonder if that is the like if I was in fighting for one of the regional shows, I would obviously the dream would be I want to fight for the UFC, but nobody ever says I want to fight for Bellator. But sometimes you see these prospects get scooped up. I feel like Bellator has better prospects than the UFC does. But the UFC has the better fighters overall. That's just the way, looking at their rosters.
Yeah, Bellator, I feel like they're shooting themselves in the foot, though. A lot of these, freak show fights, and, they have, the
no, we were talking about that earlier. Like, it almost looks
You mean the fixed fight, Cam? Is that what you're talking about?
I wouldn't say. I think there's simpler solutions to a fight being fixed than just being two old guys fighting and things happen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to need more evidence than a guy fidgeting his hand. While he's being possibly strangled.
I don't see. It's highly illegal, and these guys aren't in a position where they need money to fix a fight like that. It's just it doesn't matter.
They're both getting paid from sponsors and from the organization. At this point in their career, it probably doesn't even really matter who wins.
Yeah,
right.
Nobody's getting catapulted into superstardom because they choked out either or. So
there's not going to be a long Tito reign now, even though he just retired. But still, even if he didn't, there wouldn't be a 10-year Tito Ortiz reign after that.
Yeah, I mean, Chael's belly. Chael didn't. I don't think this didn't need to be fixed. Chael came in looking like a fucking, like a heavyweight. He was so fat and out of shape. You at least seen Tito took it seriously in training. He came in shape. Chael looked really awful.
Yeah, Chael looked like
Chael
was looking to have fun. Whatever happened. It looks like he didn't really care.
Right. Your phone cut out, Tommy. You might have to repeat that.
Yeah, Tommy, you sound like you're in the Matrix right now.
Your phone's cut out.
He's always in the Matrix.
He's always in the Matrix, right, Omar?
He is. I'm telling you. Angry Tommy comes out half the time. He's got PTSD from getting suplexed by Elshamy, which he brings up at least once a week. This guy, yeah, down. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Tommy's right again.
For sure. I hate Elshamy Twister.
I don't know, man. You might have to hang up or move to a different part of your
Tommy,
house.
you might have to.
I'm losing you.
Going on.
We're losing you. I got a question for you. I do got a question for you, Mike. And this one, I don't mean to bring up bad memories, but your last fight, it was for the vacant middleweight belt.
Sure.
Unfortunately, you were knocked out by a knee. Obviously, that sucks. You don't want to really relive that. But how was the recovery for that? Not even necessarily physical, but like the mental aspect of it. You know, you were fighting for a title. You kind of got caught. I'm sure it hurt. You know, like it does hurt after a while, like getting hit. Yeah, but was the mental recovery a tough one?
Yeah, the mental recovery of that was worse. The physical, I didn't even have a headache the next day. It was a pretty bad knockout too. But that's when I realized that I'm just much too small for 185. I got away with it for a long time because my wrestling carried me. But he hit me with a knee from a spot that probably even shouldn't have done too much damage, but because he was like half a foot taller than me, it did a ton of damage, put me out. So yeah, the mental recovery was much worse than the physical. Like I said, on the next Monday, I could have gone back to training, barring the cut. There was a cut on my forehead too that kept me, but no headaches, no nothing. I felt fine.
Right. What about like coming that close to getting the strap? And did you have a tough time like beating yourself up like, oh, I missed an opportunity now, like I might not get this back? Like was that a tough recovery for you as well?
Of course. Yeah, because even worse than that, I feel like I was winning that fight too. I had my arms around the guy's neck in the first round. I could hear him gurgling. When they separated us, I wasn't sure if he had tapped or if the time ran out because they actually never did the little clapper thing, so I wasn't exactly sure.
Right.
And they pulled in the stools, and I was like, all right, I guess we got another round.
Right.
You were kicking the shit out of that kid,
sucks.
man.
Yeah.
You were romping that kid.
I tried to find video online.
A good head kick. I feel like I fought that one not my best. A little reluctant of getting caught, and I could have done much better. Obviously, even if I was doing well against them.
Right.
No,
that sucks. I mean, anytime you're that close.
2020, but you were beating that kid in that fight. It seemed like he had no wrestling skills. He wasn't really good at defending your takedown. He couldn't get you off.
Yeah, I feel like I just didn't press the takedown enough.
Really?
That sucks.
Yeah, I feel like I let him throw too many kicks that were just unanswered. I didn't attack the legs a lot more, and a lot of the stuff that I had trained for months just didn't come out as well as I had hoped.
But did he lose that belt yet?
Yeah, he actually lost it on his first defense to a guy from the K Dojo, which is actually one of my favorite schools from the area.
Oh. I'm glad he lost it because he didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
No,
you got a chance to get it back. That's mean.
Exactly.
Brutal.
I have my own personal reasons for not liking that kid because his dad's a shit talker. So I have my own personal reasons for not liking that kid.
Hey, I don't. If that's the case, I don't like him either, Tommy. Don't worry, I got you back, buddy.
Exactly, I got you.
First time.
Forget that.
That's the first time we agreed, ever.
Oh no.
Oh no, because the kid's dad was. I'm up in Hope, New Jersey, like hours away from where that fight was, like a few months later, and I have my Madama Jiu-Jitsu shirt on, and the kid's dad starts talking shit to me about the fight. Like, dude, get the hell out of here.
Right, that's a prick. That's all that is.
The first time your kid, fought Elshamy, Dana White told the kid, or Matt Serra told the kid to go fuck himself, and Dana White said Elshamy was beating the shit out of him, and he hit you in the back of the head, right?
Yeah, that was a questionable move by him. He elbowed me a few times in the back of the head. The ref had warned him, and then the second round he decided he was going to throw a couple more. And then I actually don't even remember after that last when they separated us. I apparently convinced the doctor that I was okay, but I don't remember that part. I kind of was snapped back into it because he threw I think it was a head kick at me that cut me, and then he threw an elbow that cut me real deep in my forehead, and that's when I kind of like snapped back to it, and I felt the blood, and I was like, I gotta move now, and unfortunately they had to stop the fight because of that cut.
So there is some truth to me thinking, like, I'll see a guy like he's getting ground and pounded. Like, the third shot puts him out. The fourth shot kind of brings him back a little bit into coherence. So, that does happen to you, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like to me.
Sometimes you see, like, they'll get knocked out and they'll fall, and them hitting the mat will sometimes wake them up, even if it doesn't hit them in the head.
Yeah, the back of their head, right.
They'll kind of bounce back to it.
What is your view on hammer fist versus regular punches when you have a guy on the ground and you're just trying to get them to stop?
I mean, different tools for different scenarios. Hammer fists
I just feel the
great.
only reason why I'm asking. Look, I guess I could preface the question. Well, at this point I already asked the question, so let me just explain. Earlier I had mentioned, like, I don't feel like hammer fists are as effective in terms of what they do to the opponent. You know, if you land 3 or 4 good knuckle forward shots instead of like 10 hammer fists, you're doing more damage to end that fight.
Yeah, but it's
I understand
like
the
less
the
margin
rest
for
stoppage
error.
is better.
You also have to
They
remember
explained to me what was going on.
Yeah, there's less padding on the knuckles themselves, even with the gloves. So, I mean, if you're ripping shots down the middle and you hit his elbow, even if you hit his head just in a spot where it's a little thicker, you run the risk of breaking your knuckles, and then you can't throw any of your shots.
Well, wow. That's funny. I think I said that, and Carl said I was wrong. So thank you.
Well, no, you said you can't break your hand on the side by hitting him with a hammer punch, which I don't think. The hammer punch, you can break your hand too.
When St. Boss says you can't break your hand that way, when Boss Rutan says it, I will believe that more than anybody. So
there's that bone right there on the side I feel could break easy. But, you know, I was just curious to get an actual fighter's opinion on it. I know these guys do fight, but I consider you more of a fighter than these chumps. But, you know, I don't want to spend too much time on your loss.
Shammy is a fighter.
Yeah, I don't fight. Yeah, there's a huge difference.
Hey, I'm just trying to dig. I'm just trying to send a couple jabs to my co-host. That's all.
No, none of us claim to be fighters either, right, Tommy? Let's not get it twisted.
Hell no.
Okay.
I don't get paid to train.
No way.
I don't get paid for that. I get my.
I can't suplex anybody either. Yeah, I know. Right? Different.
I could suplex my nephew.
I'm not a fighter, but I'll kick the shit out of my brother.
Yeah, he's up there, buddy. I'll come over this wall.
It would be nice. It would be nice to get paid to spar, Shammy, because it's not fair to get your ass kicked. It's really not.
So if you're getting money, it's at least better.
I'll give you
right?
$5 every time you come in the ring with me.
You know what? That's fine. No. I'll take $5.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
$5 for a concussion? No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, you see, the funny thing with Shammy is he won't punch me in the face. He'll just kick me in the stomach. That's what he likes to do.
Oh,
he almost made me puke on
he likes soul snatching. He likes to soul snatch, is what you're saying. He likes to give the body shot and make you writhe in agony. I like this guy. I like him a lot.
Me too.
I'm just happy I haven't sparred him since he's been fighting. And I think that one time that we sparred, that was when Josh started the MMA classes. Remember that during the day?
Yeah.
Champ?
We had just started over at the school with striking, sparring.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't a fun one.
No more talk about any, past losses or, missed opportunities. Going forward, I know you don't want to give away your whole game plan, but against this Willie Hosch guy, do you have a specific game plan? Do you try to keep it on your feet? You said he's a good wrestler, but he also has hands. Like, where do you want to take it? Where do you feel most comfortable?
Ideally on the ground. I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so I'm okay with being on my back or on top of him. I also, like I said, I wrestled my entire life. I believe my wrestling is better than his. His wrestling is very good. I'll give it to him. I don't like to talk trash on him.
You wrestle around here as opposed to wrestling in North Carolina. I think it's a little different. State
Jersey wrestling
in Jersey.
Always
way
a scrappy
better
place.
Than the state championship in North Carolina.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I asked that question, I'm actually writing a blog real quick. And sometimes you see it where, you know, two guys who are more comfortable on the ground, they wind up standing up and banging the whole time. You know, like,
The
I was
respect
just
for
curious
each other's
if that,
ground game.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
right.
of course.
So I was just trying to see where your head's at.
No, I mean, I think with that is they're specifically afraid of being in one certain position, usually the bottom position. So, you know, you have two guys that want to be on top. They don't want to grapple too well because they're not they're a little afraid of getting stuck, doing something wrong, getting stuck on the bottom. I don't care. I'll be on bottom or top with grappling. Doesn't really matter. I have a lot of the stuff I've been working on with my hands, so if it stays standing, I'm okay with that too. But ideal world, I'm a wrestler. It's no secret what I want to do.
Yeah. Take it down and smash on the ground or look for the submission. That's
kill him.
Yeah, right.
Take the will out of him.
The unified rule
Crucifix is a
change.
nasty position.
What do you feel about
him out with that crucifix.
the unified rule changes? You think that affects the way you're going to fight at all?
Not too many. I haven't gone over all of them. I know that's really bad because it's been out for, like 2 weeks now? Longer?
Yeah, there's not too
About
many
2
of them,
weeks.
to be honest.
Yeah, there's only a few of them. I didn't see anything that really changed the way I fight. I like the whole putting the hand on the ground and that being a standing
that
opponent.
shit was garbage, yo.
Yeah,
it was
if you don't want to get kneed in the head, you're gonna have to compromise your position a little more than just touching the ground. I do like that. I think that's more in my favor than anything. But yeah, I don't think any of the unified rule changes are really going to affect me too negatively.
That's good.
That's cool. That's cool. Everything good with the weight and everything? You don't have an issue with cutting weight, cardio, everything seems good?
Cardio's good. I mean, the weights, I'm moving to a new weight class, so it's always in my head that I'm always nervous, but it's pretty much on schedule.
You get the 5 extra pounds. You get 5 extra pounds this time. It's like 20 at this point.
What's that?
Yeah, bullshit. You don't know.
You're getting
down an extra 10 pounds. That's the issue.
Well, right. Yeah, I get you right. You're right.
Yeah, so I always weigh in like a pound or two under at 185. And when I get to the sauna, I'll ask the guy like, "Hey, how much you got to cut?" And they're always like, "Oh, like 9 pounds." I'm like, "Oh, I have 2 pounds." That sounds terrible.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, we were just watching The Ultimate Fighter Season 5. Gabe Rudiger was 22 pounds overweight with 1 day to cut.
Eating cake.
Oh, God.
Yeah, eating cake,
Yeah,
walking
so
around
dangerous.
with water in his hand all the time. It's like, come on, dude.
Zilla. Come on, man.
So,
Yeah,
Mike, what do you
that.
walk around at? If you're down to 170 now or whatever, what do you usually walk around at if you'd have to just randomly jump on the scale?
Generally, before this weight cut, I walked around at like 210, which is pretty heavy for. I'm only 5'9". But I've been doing a lot, working with nutritionists and things like that to bring it down a little bit, get rid of some of the fat, put on a little bit more muscle. So hopefully that all adds up to an easy weight cut.
Well, at 210,
cool.
I'd kill to be 210 right now.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm 210, and I'm like, I don't have any muscle really. I'm just like
I crept
a
up around
skinny
200,
guy.
and I started dropping pounds a little bit. I was getting there though.
Yeah, we're all just like lazy pieces of shit.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm probably double than my worst was when I was training. I'm fat.
Oh, big target
when I quit wrestling.
When those kicks to the stomach.
Kevin James over there.
Yeah, but Chef,
That's
when
terrible.
you were heavier, it's like it didn't matter your weight. You were still quick when it came to jiu-jitsu, and so like your weight, like it didn't look like it affected you that much.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's good. Then you'll have the same speed as a welterweight, but you'll bring down the power.
Maybe
of a
more.
middleweight.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully I get even quicker. Most people say that I feel quick and that I drop.
That's what I
you guys don't
Oh
know,
yeah,
but
definitely.
I
Well, that's
much heavier.
definite. You know, for sure. Hopefully that's where you retain the power.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you were. Let's put it this way, Shabby. I'm much heavier than you were when you were much heavier. Let's just put it that way. You didn't
I
look.
don't know, man. I got up there. I got diagnosed with sleep apnea, and when that got bad, man, my weight skyrocketed to like 270 at one point.
All right, yeah, I'm not there yet.
Yeah,
it's
You really worked to get that off then, huh? Sleep apnea.
Yeah, you were. That's what I was thinking.
What's that?
I said 270, and you're down to 210 now. So, or not even, you're lighter than 210 probably by now, right?
Yeah.
So, damn.
Yeah, once I get down to, I've lost 100 pounds once I get down to 170.
Yeah, and when night of the weigh-in, you'll be 95 pounds. That's impressive, though. And that was within a year?
No. It took a little bit longer. It took about...
Oh, I was going to say, that's fucking crazy.
Years.
That's like some world record shit.
It was mostly because I went from just being a complete slob after quitting wrestling. I was cutting a ton of weight. Like I said, I got diagnosed with
when you
sleep
cut
apnea,
weight,
and I went from walking around at 189, 185, somewhere around there in college. I used to just walk around at that weight to walking around at like 220 for seemingly no reason. And then just cutting down to 184 every week was brutal. And then I just kind of went crazy when I quit.
Yeah, it's because like you're compensating because you don't get to eat for fucking ever. You suffer, and then it's like, you know what? Fuck this, man. I could finally
who cares?
Eat with no restriction, do what the fuck I want to do, and then before you know it, you're fucking out of shape, and you're like, damn, I got to reel this in.
Yeah, it was bad.
You were roughly 270 when you were training at Madonna?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't remember you that heavy.
Yeah, I mean,
he wears it well.
He carries it well.
Yeah. Most people look at me now and they ask, like, oh, how much you weigh? Like, 180, 190? I'm like, oh, God, yeah, like, I wish.
That's good. That's
good. You're dead.
And 33 is still good.
That's the best way to put it. You're dead. You're packed tight.
Hey, right. Do you got any social media you want to plug? You try to get your name out there. We'll start sharing your shit. Try to get some eyes on your accounts here.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I'm sorry. Do you have any social media you want to plug? You got like an Instagram account, Twitter, Facebook?
Oh man, I have my Facebook group. Everyone can find it. Just search for Michael Elshamy. I'm so bad with the social media, man. It's not one of my strong suits. Everyone constantly yells at me for it.
Just go to the fake account that your friend made for me a while ago.
No, don't go that way. Hopefully,
no, that's why. I'll do some. Do you have an Instagram and a Twitter account, or you just don't have it?
I have. I don't remember the names. I think my Instagram is Shammy_MMA. So that might be me. Check that. But I'm so bad with social media.
That's all right. I'll look it up.
When you get in the UFC, you just hire somebody to do it for you. That's all.
That's what I need. I need someone to do it for me, but not my friend, because it's going to come up with weird ass nicknames for me.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Mike El Chupacabra Elshamy.
Yeah.
If you got health benefits
Omar,
for prevailing wage, I'll do it. My job will work for
health benefits. I'll make a little bit more than what I'm making now.
Oh Lord, it's heaven.
Anybody else got anything? Anybody else got anything they want to pick Mike's brain with, or we're kind of getting up on the end of it here, and I want to keep him any longer than we need to. But I don't know if you guys got anything else you're trying to find out, or we kind of touched a lot, which is good.
No, I'm good.
Guess not.
Yeah,
no, I'm good. Absolutely, yeah.
No one's listening. Mike, I'm going to definitely look up your social media and make sure it's the right accounts, and I'll share them next week. We'll follow them on our accounts, and if you ever post anything, we'll always share that as well, and try to get eyes on you, to try to get a little bit of a bump if we could. But
awesome, man.
Just again, everybody out there, he's fighting Ring of Combat. It's 58, right?
Yeah, 58.
Ring of Combat 58 in Atlantic City, New Jersey, February 24th.
At the Tropicana.
That's Mike. At the Tropicana, baby, which is my favorite to stay at. My favorite.
Show starts at 8:30.
Correct, yeah.
Nice. And there's a lot of fights there. You want to get in early to see everybody, but we don't know when Mike's going on, so we want to make sure that you don't miss that fight. But, I think it's something that the co-hosts, I think we should try to get together. If I know
Mike,
Omar lives far away, but
we can get tickets. Do you have like a ticket hookup or like a number we could call or something?
No number. You just stop by the school. You can pick up tickets. If Tom wants to come and get tickets for you guys. I have them pretty much on me.
Tom doesn't know if he's still going to be in the state, Sham.
He can still
I don't know.
all right. You can still bring the trip.
Tom's got papers on him,
So-
apparently. He's evading marshals, and he's just in a different...
So if anybody wants
3
tickets,
weeks.
they could just stop by the school, you said?
Yeah, absolutely. We're right on Fisher Boulevard.
And that's Madama
Thompson
Jiu-Jitsu,
River.
right, guys?
Yep, right in the Bell
Yeah,
Crest,
I'm a Jiu-Jitsu,
Plaza.
Fisher Boulevard. Give them a call. Go online, Ticketmaster. I'm sure you can find them any other ways. But, Mike, would you be opposed to coming back on after you beat this guy or discuss your victory?
No, man, this was a lot of fun. I'd be more than happy to.
Nice.
Sweet. We'd love to definitely have you back on, and we're definitely all pulling for you. So I'm sure you got some fans out there who are also pulling for you. So we want to definitely wish you the best of luck, and really appreciate you coming on and spending time with us and letting us pick your brain. It was a good interview.
Thank
we
you
learned a
for
lot,
having me.
and you definitely got some fans here. That for sure. I know that for a fact.
Awesome, man. Thank you. I appreciate everything.
Thanks
Hey,
for
Mike,
your
I
help.
Thanks for coming on.
I miss
All
you.
right,
Tell
take care,
everybody hello,
Elshamy.
and hopefully I see you guys soon.
All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. He's a cool dude, man. Tommy, you get a lot of cool guests. I got to give you that. It's funny because
Shamy's
these guys
awesome.
are so much cool. They're so much cooler than you. Like I don't even understand how they can even bear hanging out with you.
He let them beat him
I'm
up.
just playing.
I think that's what it is.
He gets
I
to
think
beat
he
the
just
shit
like,
out
yo,
of you.
kick me.
You don't understand.
Exactly.
Pretty
Kick
much.
me in the liver.
Pretty much.
Like I wasn't joking when I said I was sick of getting the shit kicked out of me by him because it just gets embarrassing after a while.
Yeah. Well, he's a professional fighter. I mean, you're all right.
Even before he was a professional fighter, like he'll let you get a dominant position on him just to make you look like a dickhead when he flips you off. Like
Makes you feel good about yourself. Oh,
it's
that's
bad.
funny.
He put me in a
No, it's a
twister and
trap.
wouldn't let go. I've never been put in a twister before, and he put it in, and I thought I was going to be able to get out, and the next thing I know, it felt like my head
That fight was
was gonna
fixed.
pop off.
That fight was fixed.
That fight was fixed.
Oh man. So Omar, I wanted to ask you something because I saw online. I saw that you got a lot of new things going on with your gym, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu. Is there anything else that you guys want to plug for the gym? Are you guys doing like sessions for younger kids now or first timers? I see a lot of training that's going on.
We have the kids program is super stocked. We also where we moved, it's across from a high school. So we're getting a lot of the kids coming out from there, and then yeah, absolutely. Like for the we got some savage wrestlers from there, and even just non-wrestlers, just stuff.
Yeah,
stuff.
dude,
And
you
we're
should
also
talk
starting
to the principal and be like, we could be your disciplinarians. You send over the punk ass badass kids.
We did. We went over.
That's great.
Like the professor and the head coach of the other location in New Falls. They went over. They did a seminar at Ketchum High School. And,
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. It's the best. And then we got the downstairs. It's gonna be an MMA gym. We got to get the rink down there. There's it's like a storage space right now. So there's random stuff in there, and it's hilarious because it's I think there's a emergency vet there, so you would not believe the type of storage stuff is in there. It's like random dogs.
Yeah, I wonder if that might not be such a bad idea, man. To be like a traveling, jiu-jitsu seminar team, going to high schools and shit.
Yeah, you'd have to be.
You'd
have to have a black belt and be somebody
you need a purple
worth
belt.
going around and do seminars. Nobody's going to want to take a seminar.
Sure,
I'm not saying
purple
I'm
belt.
going to go do it, but like that would just seems like a cool ass idea,
Chris
like
is
a
starting
cool
now.
ass job.
Chris is
coordinate that
there.
shit,
He's
bro.
like, yo, I got
Chris
this.
is
Why
white
not?
belt.
But I could go there and be, I don't have to lead the seminar, but I could sure as hell take
The
part.
Uncle Rico.
Like all you need is
Chris Gucci.
Oh, that's classic.
Hey, Omar,
That's
whatever
classic.
happened with Melvin?
Oh, he's we're getting him back up here in March, and when he's back up here in March, he's gonna stop by on the show. So
That'll be huge.
yeah.
March.
we don't want to. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
But definitely don't
But
forget.
he's coming back on. No,
he's got a
he was
fight coming up.
amazing. Yeah.
No, right? I saw a lot of the Facebook Live videos. The Facebook Live videos you shared, he seemed very he seemed to be doing a lot of one-on-ones too, which is good. I saw that he was working with this one girl and
don't believe the hype. Yeah, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the press. This guy is legit. I think he's been maligned in the press a lot. But I cannot say.
Yeah, no, I never believe what I hear first. You hear what these other guys that have trained with him before. These guys that have trained with him before have had nothing but good things. Like I remember Cowboy Cerrone and him were really good friends.
Cerrone? Good Lord.
Well,
I opened a ravioli
I'll
place.
never call him Cerrone again, ever again.
No.
What gave him the bad look was when he was on The Ultimate Fighter. That's what gave him the bad look.
Right. But
how you act, like, that shit's all an act, man. Like, he was trying to front for the cameras. I get all that. So I don't even, hold that against people. You know what I mean? Like, how is
Plus,
he
you grow up, dude. That was a long time ago. That was 12 years ago.
That's true, too.
He's got time to grow up.
And how is
That's
he
what they
man?
hold people against, you know what I mean? Look at how many years Rashad Evans got booed for how he was on the show.
Yeah,
even after he won the belt.
Dude, they're asking for you to kind of act like an asshole on the show. Like, that's what they're looking for. They need good TV. If they had a bunch of fucking choir boys out there, nobody would care about the show.
Well, that's
if it was up to
got Junie Browning coming back.
Nobody would do anything. It would just be fights. They would go to church, and then from church they would go directly to the fight. They wouldn't talk. They wouldn't have to fight.
Let's bang, bro. Let's bang, bro.
Yeah.
Let's bang.
Junie Browning throwing glasses at this guy at the dude's face. At who was it?
Justin Eiler,
football player.
No, he threw it at Shane Prim.
No, it was a linebacker from Arizona State. Kyle something with a K, I believe.
Oh, Kyle
Kingsbury. Yeah.
But he hit Shane Prim with one too, right before his fight with Efron.
Yo, can I ask though? Like, I thought Junie was in jail. Like, that's what the last I read about him. Like, he was fucked up in the game. I didn't know that he was like making a comeback. I mean, good for him. I wish no ill will on anybody, but.
Well, because they probably need ratings on the show, and he brings ratings.
I can't imagine being excited to see him fight. He was not exciting to watch fight then. He had no gas tank,
I just hope Eddie Gordon beats his ass.
Oh,
yeah, they're even the same way.
I think, looking at the roster, I don't think there's much work for Eddie Gordon. I think he's going to fucking be the first ever 2-time Ultimate Fighter champion. That's cool.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Would that get him?
Something that leaked online.
Would that allow?
Yeah.
Theoretically,
look, I'm not
would
sit
that
here and
then
act like I didn't read
let him
something
fight
that I
McGregor?
really read. I'm not, come on.
I heard you, Omar. Though. Omar told you I'm McGregor.
Yeah, hold on. Would he, if he was the 2-time, on the show, then he'd be like, well, hey, let's stack them up and let's make this happen.
Yeah, and then he would be like, yo, I need a piece of the pie, like a cut of the company.
Right.
He wants
not for nothing though,
1%
just
of the Ultimate Fighter franchise.
Just talk he did come in. He did talk to Aisling or whatever the first time. Then was a coach on it. But just talk about Mr. Gordon real quick. Tommy, I know you follow him on social media like I do. That dude is shredded now. You've seen the pictures of him lately. He lost a lot of weight, man. He looks pretty damn good.
And it's funny. I didn't even think he didn't look heavy when he was in the Ultimate Fighter. But you look at him now.
Right.
Wow.
No, exactly. He
make a run
put some weight on. Right.
He could.
Hey, man, he definitely looks svelte. So
is that what he's doing? Welterweight?
We obviously lost.
Well, I think that's what he's at. I think he's at welterweight. I think.
Yeah, well,
I didn't know that.
That's new. Has he announced that he's moving down officially to welterweight?
Nothing has been announced, Christopher.
Christopher, nice. I like that.
That
using
was
his
so
Christian name.
Funny, by the way.
Nothing has been announced.
He's got
nothing's been announced with
weight loss secrets. He's got some weight loss secrets though, because he posted something about his wife.
He's on the show, but not anybody else.
I've heard it other places, but when Matt was on his show, UFC Unfiltered, and they were talking about the upcoming season because of Cody and TJ, Matt couldn't say it. He couldn't say that
I read
going
it.
to be on the show.
I read it. So I'm not fucking.
I did too, but what I think what Tommy's doesn't want to happen is he doesn't want somebody that did leak it, that's in the know or whatever, in their camp or whatever, to get in trouble, which I respect and understand. So, you don't want to be the guy
but
to
at the same time, it
put it
wasn't
out
like
there.
somebody. It wasn't like in the camp. Like I read the entire tough.
Well, no, right.
roster.
Right.
So
exactly.
it wasn't like
no.
It could have been anybody in any camp.
Exactly. No. Tommy just found out literally minutes ago that we read that online. So that's his defense. He didn't know. Right.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I
whatever.
read that. I read
the
whole article about the tough something 25 All Stars.
Right. Well,
whatever. It's
Um,
funny. The only names I really recognized was Junie, Diego Lima, and Eddie, and they're saying it's one fighter from the current roster, but they won't.
Joe Daddy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right, Joe Daddy.
Yeah,
but
Joe
they're saying
Daddy's
that
out there.
there's one fighter from the current roster, and they're not naming him. You can't find it on
I'm
any
curious.
sheet. I don't. So
Very curious to see who that is. Right. So wait, the fights of this week is Shevchenko versus Pena are this weekend, right? Ultimate Fight Night or UFC Fight
That's
Night?
a great card.
Yeah,
I'm
so,
excited.
Get out there, make sure you watch that in DVR and get it all going, because we'll make our predictions as usual and we'll post them on the website.
This guy
and shit.
to watch out for, Ngannou, Francis Ngannou, the French dude. He has some of the craziest power I've ever seen.
He's the most
I'm looking
powerful
forward to it.
Frenchman since Napoleon.
Yeah.
Okay? For sure. This guy's huge.
What about
He's nuts.
What about GSP and Coach?
He's a half Frenchman. He's a fake Frenchman. They're fake Frenchmen. They're like half breeds out there, aren't they?
No,
Would you go up to
this
GSP
guy,
and call him
Tommy,
that?
have you seen this guy? You know who he is, right? Obviously.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. He's nuts.
Yeah, man. Like, he
Manila?
just has this superhuman strength.
Manila?
His feet and his hands are so big. I can't believe it. It looks like awkward for as tall as he is.
You know what that means? He's got big ass gloves.
Yeah, and shoes.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Carl, always going back to that. He can't help
Carl,
What? He's got big gloves.
That's his bread and butter. He's always going
he's like
back to
Shane
the
Carwin.
sausage factory.
But I'll
Chris,
tell you
when you
what,
guys
say nothing about sausage.
Chris, when
you know,
guys
the
go food
top
shopping,
10 heavyweights should be on notice. 100%.
Chris, when you guys go food shopping, does Carl stand by the eggplants? I just want to know. Does he stand there?
Yo, kiss my ass.
No, he doesn't stand by anything. He sits right on top of him.
Oh.
Okay. Oh no.
Oh,
I was gonna say
eggplant parm, baby, eggplant parm.
But anyway, yeah,
Eggplant
parm, eggplant with some fermented cheese and some sauce.
no.
Anyway, Francis
Ngannou,
right? Top 10 heavyweights in the UFC. Better fucking put him, be on notice because he's definitely coming. Arlovsky, I think, is going to be the first victim.
Isn't
Arlovsky's gonna
I
get
thought he was playing
destroyed.
Manua. I don't know why I thought.
God, that heavyweight division is so stale. It's so stale.
Winter's
not
not gonna
really.
happen.
I mean, like Derek Lewis. I know his last
they are.
fight was a fucking snooze fest, but there's some guys.
It's in slow motion.
Well, bro, it's stale enough that they're talking
Stuck
about.
in the mud.
They're talking about Junior Dos Santos getting a title shot.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either, but
that's pretty stale, bro.
Well, since
But,
he came out of the closet,
really,
I think it makes sense that he's going to take a title shot, right?
Stipe, like, that's a top 4, and you're not going to really – I don't know that anybody's going to crack that top 4 for a while. You know what I mean? I guess –
I don't know, dude.
Overeem destroyed Dos Santos, so I guess you could kind of, like, put him in that mix, but I don't know, man. I still think a healthy Kane is the best heavyweight in the world.
Kane's a beast.
A healthy C-level Kane.
When he fights,
Yeah, of course. But
at C-level.
well, whatever. We're up against it here, guys. I don't want to keep everybody too long. It's we've been going on a little bit over an hour and a half now, so I do appreciate Tommy getting the guest again, Mike Elshamy. This guy's definitely a stand-up dude. I'm looking forward to having him back on. We really hope he wins.
Possibly even get the AC for that card.
Right. Well, we're still pulling for George Styles and Sullivan.
If you've never been to a Ring of Combat, it's a really, really awesome show. I mean, I loved it.
I'm considering it heavily. I'm really considering it. I'm not even joking.
And the funny thing is, you could look back on a card that you go to a few years later, and some of the names that you see on there, you're going to see in the UFC, like what we talked about today.
Right.
The one that I went to.
Right.
You know,
like
Igor
Mike
Gracie, Gregor
Elshamy.
Gracie, you know, Christoph Szynski. All before these guys were in the UFC and Bellator, I saw them there. So it was pretty cool.
No, I mean, like, they all start somewhere. That's why I was saying on the conference call to Trish, like, you know, we could. I'm not necessarily like saying pick off their entire roster, but look through these rosters, see what guys have promise, and like try and get some of these guys on. Not necessarily a teammate of yours, but just somebody that shows some promise that you know.
You know, and
Well,
look at the
we're
guys
hoping-
that came
we're
from there
hoping-
now. Mickey Gall.
We're hoping George
came from Ring
Sullivan
of
kind
Combat.
of takes it going. If George Sullivan keeps it going, you know, we had one of his early interviews. We could have him as a returning guest come on, and you know that might
That'd be
do wonders
or
for our
Eddie
show.
Gordon.
Yeah, I know.
He's
That's
the highest, of course.
we
You
have
know, not for
we have
nothing. He's the guy we're getting back soon. I want to get him on before the Ultimate Fighter or whatever. He's got it on the horizon, so definitely want to have him back on. But I don't know, guys. I guess it's a good time to wrap it up. So we're going to be recording from Wednesday going forward, right? Every day, every week now.
Yes.
Omar, your schedule changed, so that's fine with me.
I like that better.
You know, it's quicker in the week. Yeah, I don't like doing Thursday. It gets too much towards the end of the week. I want to get it going already. But definitely looking forward to that. Guys, make sure you follow all our social media and all that shit. We announced it at the early part of the show. Just look us up on social media. You'll find it. Right. I'm not going through that business again. But thanks again to Mike Elshamy. Look for Ring of Combat February 24th. You know, and gentlemen, I appreciate everything as usual. Tommy, thank you.
Not the Nature Boy Elshamy. All right, let's not get into it. I want to.
Trying to really blow your mind.
Trying
to blow your mind.
And while I got everybody, we got to do something with that phone call in notification. I found out from Tommy the other day that it's not a responsive thing. It happens like 3 seconds after you push it, which kind of like it's just too loud. I think we got to figure out a way to do something with that, change the sound or something. I'll talk to Trish, but
hang out.
Can we make it like a ding ding?
Yeah. Right, like a ring ding or something.
Can we have Omar say ding ding? Wouldn't that be just great every time?
Okay. I'll say it in Spanish though. I'll say it in Spanish.
Nice.
Ding ding.
Yeah,
Always.
Ding ding.
Always
ding
SAP.
ding.
Ding ding.
Yeah, SAP.
Well, before we get any more racist, I'd like to say I appreciate it again, guys, and I'll see you next week. I'm going to sign off because I have some guests to do, but I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot.
Yep. Take care, guys.